Hi everyone, I'm so happy to have you here. My name is Jolene Aaron. I am a psychic medium, an energy healer, a mom of 5, a trauma survivor myself, and I help people to release the trauma that they've gone through, to release the programming and the conditionings, to allow them to step into their power and purposes. And part of that, stepping into your power and purposes, is really uncovering that every single one of us, no matter who you are, no matter what you've been through, has a part of them that may not have been able to be expressed, that may feel unsafe, that may feel unheard, that has an inner child in them that might not have gotten the love and the attention and the safety and the support that they really needed. So my personal story, and I share it a lot. If you don't follow me on Instagram and TikTok. It's at Psychic Energy Mama Jolene. But I share my story a lot about extensive abuse that I went through from birth, really to the abuse stopped at 12 years old. But the lack of support, the lack of care, it stayed all the way until I was 18 and I left my home. And we all know that, just because trauma stops doesn't mean it stops in your body, your mind, and your spirit. So I really held on to that deep pain and really pushed it down the majority of my life. I really actively started my healing journey when I got pregnant with my first child, my oldest child, because I have 5. But my oldest child is 8, my youngest is 18 months. And in birthing the child, I rebirthed myself essentially. I realized, wow, I do deserve love, because what happened to me was not right. Because I realized, how could anybody treat a child the way I was treated? So some of the things that I went through was being locked in the closet by my biological mother multiple times. My biological father was murdered in Manhattan during a drug probe. So my biological mother did go through a lot of, pain and trauma. And of course we understand generational wounds and the abuse she probably went through, she just passed down to me, right? So we're the cycle breakers here. If you're here, you're a cycle breaker, meaning that you're trying to do the work, that way you don't pass this on to your family, your friends, your family line. So really, 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 really beautiful work for being here and just watching this video today. But with that being said, I went from that abuse to growing up with my grandparents, who were also very emotionally abusive and neglectful, and not even conscious, that they were doing this. But I was being sexually abused by a relative from about 8 to 12. That sexual abuse happened consistently. I also found my older sister dead by suicide, which was very traumatizing, obviously. And on top of that, I was a psychic medium, and I had all of these abilities. I saw spirit, but after all these events that were happening, it was such a lower density, a lower energetic energy, that I was able to experience the trauma and pain and form. So it became an entity that essentially haunted me, I'll say, because it manifested into form. And other people in my home, it did experience this. But they, again, no one really talked about anything in my house. So it was very much, we're just going to deal with this and that's it, right? So a part of being a healer and part of my healing journey has been to really, really allow myself to honor my experiences, to find power in speaking my truth. It doesn't mean you have to do the same, but in your journey, it's really asking yourself, what do I need to heal? What do I need to do for myself? It's a journey of self. So you're here because you want to heal yourself. You're here because you know that there's something better for you in your life, that you don't have to stay trapped in this pain, or you don't have to stay trapped in avoiding, or you don't have to stay trapped in these toxic relationships. So what happens when we have shitty childhoods, for lack of a better word, is that we will assume that that is what's normal. We get comfortable in what's normal. So that may, for you, look like that you have been in relationships that weren't healthy, that you have put up with behavior that wasn't for you, for your highest good. So you're here probably because you want to break those chains. You want to feel like you're empowered. You want to feel like you're confident. You want to feel like you can speak your truth without worrying about what other people think. And that is your birthright, to be you, to say what you need to say, to lead from your heart. So the inner child healing, this beautiful blueprint today, I figured we would do it on video. So I recommend you can pause this at any time. You will have unlimited access to this video. So take notes. I recommend getting some cozy clothes on. I recommend getting a journal or something to write with, and something to write with. I recommend getting some water. Okay, you'll see me drinking a lot of water throughout, and that's just very hydrating as well. Maybe some tea to calm the nervous system. So a big part of my healing journey when I had my oldest, because I do have 5 children myself, and it's been very important for me to heal, that way I can be a better parent to them. So my oldest is 8, my youngest is 18 months. So I've had a lot of action, a lot of babies in a short period of time. But I've noticed with the birth of each child, it's been the birth of the mother. So if you are contemplating like, oh, I've been through such bad trauma, I shouldn't have kids, or I can't have kids. Yes, you can. Okay, you completely can, and it's because you are aware of self and you want to do better. That's all it really takes to heal. Okay, your parents are the people that you had in your life that maybe abused you in some way, shape, or form. They weren't aware of themselves maybe to the capacity that we are now. I truly believe that. And what I think is happening in general, just psychically, is that we are going through such a massive spiritual awakening that we do have the capacity to really heal family lines, ancestral lines deeper than we ever have. The divine feminine mothering energy is here and we are embodying it. So the divine feminine doesn't mean just being a female. It's the divine feminine energy that's really coming into the earth grid system right now to really assist us in being and remembering that we've always been enough. We've just been lied to and programmed and conditioned. And that's some of the things I work on with clients privately in one-on-one settings. And you can go to my website too to check that out, which is psychicenergymama.com. I offer 8 and 12-week journeys, one-on-one journeys, all online, to assist you to peel back the layers, to really deeply work on your parts. That way you can have those healthy relationships. That way you can step into your power and purposes. That way you can build your psychic and healing abilities, which we all have to different degrees. So those are some of the things that I do help. I also do readings and mediumships as well, along with inner child healing sessions, single sessions, Kundalini activation sessions, which are Shakti Kundalini energy, and then trainings as well, and Reiki, all the way to Reiki master teacher and Kundalini facilitator training, Shakti Kundalini facilitator training. So anyway, back to why you are here. Okay, back to why you are here is for this inner child healing. So a big part of our healing is our nervous system. And you'll see me stretching and moving, and I invite you throughout any point today that when you feel activated by what we're talking about, please allow yourself to move, to shake, to do whatever you need to do, because that is how we release it out of the body. A lot of us, you might not know this, or you might already know this if you're in this kind of line of work, that movement is so powerful. Okay, movement and expressing your voice is so powerful in releasing trapped emotions. So making sure to do any kind of movement that feels organic today, any kind of breath work that feels organic today. And what I'm going to start with is, before we even get into the heavier stuff, I am going to talk about the resources. Okay, so I am not a mental health professional. Okay, I'm not a licensed therapist. I am a trauma survivor. I am a coach. I am a healer, and I share from my experiences. I am trauma informed, but I share from my experiences. But if at any point in time that you feel like your situation is too big for you and you feel like you're going to hurt yourself or somebody else, I have to have you, please, you have to reach out to a mental health professional, okay? That's beyond my capacity of being able to serve. So, with that being said, I want to talk about resources that will help you calm your nervous system. That way you can heal, okay? With resources, I'm going to take a step back, okay? Because I always like to say this. We cannot heal if we are in a unsafe environment. You can have all of the resources in the world, okay? You can be laying a beautiful pillow of, fairies and princesses floating on a cloud. But if you are in an unsafe environment, meaning if you're in an abusive relationship right now, if you are in some kind of relationship or situation where you are being repeatedly being abused or traumatized, you're not going to be able to heal at the capacity that you can. So the first step, if you are unsafe in your healing journey and you're watching this video, you have to find safety. You cannot heal when you are unsafe. And I'm going to tell you the actual biology of this, because when we are unsafe, our body goes into fight or flight. So you stay in the reptilian lower brain. We can't heal unless we're able to process. So if you are physically unsafe, you are not going to be able to process the emotions, the situations that you need to heal, because you are unsafe and your body is doing what it needs to do. It's doing what it's supposed to do, which is by protecting you and keeping you in that fight or flight mode. Our body can only heal when we can move that energy from being like, okay, am I safe? but the body's looking around. Are we safe? Are we safe? Okay, yes, we're safe. So then the body can move, the nervous system can move to the next step, okay? And then essentially what we're trying to do is getting to the prefrontal cortex, where we can actually have the rationality to have the awareness to make choices to help ourselves in a healing. But you can't do that if you're stuck in the reptilian brain, okay? So that's the biology of why you have to make sure you are safe, okay? So if you are not safe right now, use all the resources, meaning all of the money, all of your friends, family members that you can connect with to get into a safe space, okay? Now, if you are safe and you're watching this video, it is still important to have resources. And I'm going to go over a few today that help me. I love to shake, okay? I love to shake. I love to do sounds out of my mouth. And I'll show you some of these. There is a lion's breath, where we take the tongue out. Okay, it's really nice. Try that. No one's looking at you. Doesn't matter what it looks like. So you're taking a big breath in, and then you're and sticking the tongue all the way out, okay? It feels really, really good when you do this. So that's a resource, lion's breath. There's also a resource of the Vu breath. Resources are what they do, or they're helping calm and regulate your nervous system. Because again, we can't heal if our body can't process, if it's process overload, okay? So we have that a lion's breath. We have the horse's breath, which sounds like a horse, okay? And it's like, and you can even shake your head. Spit might go everywhere. It's okay, right? No one's watching you, okay? So let it out. Shake it out. Just doing things, make yourself laugh, right? Laughter is a good way to build the dopamine in the body. Another thing that you can do is the Vu breath. So Vu, and if you put your hand in your heart here, Vu, you will feel there is some vibration, and that vagus nerve goes all the way down from the base of your crown down to your sexual reproductive organs, okay? So that whole vagus nerve is going to be stimulated. Vu, you can do that as long as you want, okay? The other kind of breath is a nice, deep, cleansing diaphragmatic breath, okay? So really breathing in through the nose or the mouth, all the way past your rib cage. So you really want the back to expand, okay? Imagine that air going all the way down to your lower belly and then releasing out. I like to be audible with the sigh, especially if you have some throat chakra blockages. So diaphragmatic breath is really breathing in through the nose or mouth, whatever's comfortable. I like to breathe through the mouth because it allows me to feel like I'm really breathing into my sacral chakra, which is your lower belly, that space right below your belly button. And I'm filling up all spaces. The side of my diaphragm is expanding, and then I'm releasing out. And the in breath is like I'm bringing in my intention of healing, and the out breath is I'm releasing out everything. I'm just relaxing it out. I'm releasing it out. I'm just letting it out, okay? A big portion of your healing is giving yourself permission to heal, giving yourself permission to look silly, giving yourself permission to do things that might feel uncomfortable to you, okay? That might be not by the book of what you learn, because it's all about programming and conditioning. There's a beautiful phrase that I like to use a lot, and that I hear a lot, even internally, is that unexpressed emotions are expressed in the body. So if you are someone that has inner child trauma or any kind of trauma, and you have some chronic pain, that started from your emotions that were unexpressed, okay? That all started and stemmed from unexpressed emotions. They get trapped in our organs and our cells and in our DNA. And we know this by, right, generational trauma, our lineage. So when you healing right now, you're not just healing your kids and your family members that are around you, you are taking the time to really heal that ancestral line, all of those ancestral wounds. So allow yourself to look silly. Who cares, right? Get it out, shake it out. You know, a big thing here, and you can't really see my bottom half, is stomping it out. Stomping it out. Just letting it go. Feels so good to be free, okay? Feels so good to be free, to not care. You know, you're in your own home, put some music on, just let it go. Put some music on and just shake it out, scream it out. Scream out the anger that you didn't get to express. So these are resources, tools that allow you to get that trapped emotion, that trapped energy that's stuck in the body, and get it out. You don't need to carry it anymore. You don't need to hide yourself anymore, okay? That's a big part of healing. feeling. Who cares what other people think? Okay, no one cares about anyone else. Everyone's just focusing on themselves truly. So just be you, do you. So stretching is great, a great resource. Yoga is a great resource. Breath work. Or box breathing. All right, there is breathing in for 4, breathing out for 4, holding for 4, breathing in for 4. It's like a box. You can draw it with you can even draw it with me. So breathing in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4, breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4. It's a really nice one, actually. Hold for 4, breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4, breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4, breathe in for 4, hold for 4. And just continuing that, right? That box. Okay, so you can pause this video and go back and just take some time to do that. That felt amazing. At any point in this, again, you have access to this forever, however long you need it. Pause it, okay? And go back to it whenever you need. All right, emotions come up, you really want to shake. You're like, oh, this feels so good. I want to roll my shoulders out. I want to scream. I want to shake. I want to do my breath. Then do that, okay? So you can look on YouTube. I always recommend Breathe with Sandy. Amazing, okay? Amazing breath worker, eye candy as well. Very attractive man, but also very calming. His energy is very calming as well. And he knows what he's doing and talking about with the breath work, okay? So Breathe with Sandy on YouTube, all right? I recommend, highly recommend. I give that to all of my subscribers on Instagram. A lot of my coaching clients that I work with, I always recommend Breathe with Sandy. If breathwork's not for you, if it's triggering, that's okay. Okay, I know there's a lot about breathwork in the spiritual community. If it's not for you, just breathe. We just need you to breathe. For you, maybe trying to find some somatic release, okay? And maybe breathwork will be something in the future, but maybe it won't, and that's okay too. Okay, so in being a trauma-informed provider, you have choice to do whatever you need, to shake, to scream, to dance. We just want to get that emotion, that energy out. You don't need to know exactly what you're feeling, but you just need to just allow yourself to feel it, whatever that is, okay? That's a big thing that's going to help you on your inner child healing journey and your shadow work healing journey. Allow yourself to not know. Allow yourself to not know. We don't need to know everything. That's the ego mind being like, we have to stay in control. No. All you know is you feel overwhelmed. You don't need to know that it happened when you were 2. You don't need to know that it happened when you were 5. You just need to let it out and let that overwhelm out. Thank the overwhelm for showing itself. And don't worry, I'm jumping ahead of myself a little bit here, but resources, okay? Resources means resourcing, breath work. It can be tapping. I'm going to show you a few things here. It can be tapping, EFT tapping. There are tapping points that you can say affirmations like, I am safe, going over with my middle finger. I am safe to feel my emotions. Just tapping. Okay. It's okay for me to feel uncomfortable. It's safe for me to feel uncomfortable. I am healing with my intention, right above the lip. I'm healing with my intention. My birthright is bliss, right over on the chin. You can go right in the collarbone, I think it's right below the collarbone, wherever. It's somewhere on the collarbone. Just tap where it feels good, okay? I am loved. I love myself. And I like to go right in the heart. I love myself. I deserve love. Go under the armpit. It is safe for me to be me. It is safe for me to be me. And again, if you are an EFT, specialist, wonderful. I don't know, all the exact points, but you can tap wherever you want to tap, honestly. You can tap wherever you want to tap, all right? Just know that it feels good sometimes. Just tap wherever you want to tap, okay? It just feels good. Having that body system, all right? So tapping's a resource as well. I will show you something that really does calm the nervous system. It's called the butterfly hug. So hands palm out, okay? Then you're gonna take your hands, turn them your way, okay, facing you. Your palms are facing you. We're gonna cross our elbows, either one behind the other. Then we're gonna hook our thumbs. Hook your thumbs, okay? Elbows are down. I know you can't really see my elbows, but the elbows are down. Shoulders are relaxed. They're not up like this. Relax those shoulders. I know how hard it is, especially when you're living in fight or flight, okay? Breathe. The big thing is breath. I always think about breathing into your tailbone. That's a really way to ground. I'm going to breathe into my tailbone, right? And then from here, just gentle tap. Close your eyes. Go into your internal world. Gently tap. Gently tap. You can say, I can express my emotions. I can express my emotions. I can express my emotions. It's safe for me to be. It's safe for me to be. It's safe for me to be. You can say anything here. Anything you want that's a positive affirmation. We're reprogramming the brain here. So essentially every negative thought that you have, you really need to reprogram it with a positive at least 3 times, okay? So say anything that you need. It's okay for me to do hard things. I can do hard things. Whatever's going to empower you, okay? Trust that. So that's the butterfly hug. And I'm gonna show you the containment hug, which I love. Containment hug is taking one hand under an armpit, the other hand over your shoulder, chin to chest. And then just hug yourself. Oh, big hug. You can go side to side. And it feels like a hug. So make sure you're really getting that arm, get that juicy part of the arm right there. Really get that juiciness and just hug it and love it, right? Just loving yourself, hugging yourself. You can do rocking here. Rocking is a resource which I love to do. I love to rock. I'm doing hip circles, but you can rock forward and back. Rocking is very comforting for that inner child. When she or he comes out, rock them, okay? When he or she comes out, you just rock them and tell them that they're safe now. They are safe now, okay? So a lot of resources I gave you today. Any point you feel overwhelmed, remember to process your emotions and your experiences. You have to be able to have a regulated nervous system, okay? So let's get into the final part here, where we are going to, I want you to really take time and pause this video to think about if it's your inner child, a situation that is really triggering to you, something that you've never talked about, maybe something that you've been holding on to so much pain. The first thing that comes to mind when you're like, when you think about working on your inner child and you get that ick feeling because you're like, oh, I don't want to do it, or you don't know where to start, it's an overwhelmed feeling, go with that, okay? Go with the first thing that comes to mind for you, all right? So pause the video, think about that. What is my goal for meeting my inner child? What part of me needs to be faced today? Because it will change every time you come to this video. It may change, it may not, but allow yourself to ask yourself that. What part of me is coming up today, all right? And if it's not a specific memory, it can be an emotion, okay? This is where the parts work and the inner child kind of combine, okay? If you have a memory of your inner child, go with that, okay? Write it down. I have this memory. Write it down, okay, in your journal. If you don't have a specific memory, maybe you don't remember your childhood. That's okay. It's your brain's trying to protect you. Go with an emotion. What emotion are you feeling today that you try to tend to avoid? You try to push it down. You're like, ooh, I don't want to feel that. Not doing it. No, right? Go with that. All right, so whatever it is that you're feeling, can be loneliness, anger, fear, anxiety, we're going to acknowledge it. So whichever that came up for you, again, take your time, pause the video. Whichever came up for you, I want you to invite it in and say, thank you, inner child, I see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, overwhelmed, I see you. Thank you for being here, okay? And remember that you are grounded, you are safe, all right? You are whole, all right? And as you say the thank you for them here, it just opens up the communication. Like this part isn't all shamed and pushed down and like, ugh, right? You're saying thank you for being here because you're the parent essentially. Think about you in this part, in this journey, as you're being the parent, the older sister, the older brother, whatever feels best for you that you always needed, the friend, right? That you always needed, somebody that you needed, right? So when whatever emotion's coming up, we're not shaming it anymore, right? That's a big part of this. Whatever emotion, whatever memory, we're not shaming it anymore. There's nothing for you to feel guilty about, right? That part might feel guilty and that's okay, or that memory might feel guilty, but you as the adult, right, knowing what you know now or trusting what you know now, knows that we're not going to shame that child, that part of us anymore. It's been their whole life being shamed. So what we're going to do is we're going to step in and we're going to give it the unconditional love that it needed. That's what it needs, right? So as you do that, as you just see it for a part of you and not what you are, your inner child isn't just you, it's a part of you. The anger, the resentment, the fear isn't all of you, it's just part of you. You can separate it. It becomes a little less intense if you kind of categorize it that way. All right, so I recommend, whatever part's the most intense, whatever's the most loudest, work with that first, okay? Because you might have a ton of parts that come up, all right? But focus on the one that is the most loud, okay? Because that's the part that really, really needs to be heard. And then you can tell the other parts, I see you. Maybe imagine a beautiful little house for them to play, right? If they're all coming up to say, okay, I got to deal with part A. I got to deal with anger first. And then maybe I'll get back to sadness later, okay? So you're putting some boundaries up because this can feel very overwhelming, all right? But you're acknowledging the emotion, you're acknowledging the inner child, all right? So you put the other ones, make a beautiful house, draw a house. If you're artistic, right? Draw it out, draw a little house for your inner child, your inner teenager, whatever parts are coming up for you. You can make this a whole activity, all right? We're not shaming these parts anymore. We're not shaming them. We are saying, I see you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for communicating with me. Thank you for being here. You're so brave. Think about the way you would talk to your child if you have children. That you're so brave. Thank you for telling me that. Thank you. Okay, I hear you. I hear you, honey. Give them the hugs, right? That's what they need. That's what you need. You're the same thing, right? So after you decide what part you're working on, then you ask it. You literally ask it, what do you need from me? What do you need from me? And sit with that. Hands in your heart. Maybe you have to rock here. Maybe you have to shake. Give that part time. We're not rushing it. We're not judging it. We're not like, come on, what do you need? We're not doing that. Okay. So there might be a part that you don't know. You don't know what it needs. Okay. So if you don't know, take your time with it though. If nothing comes up, if you don't get an emotion, maybe a color. It can be a color. It can be an emotion. It can be your body tenses up. Okay. Giving you all these signs, right? So pay attention to how your body's reacting when you're asking these questions. What do you need from me, right? What does anger need from you? What does sadness need from you? What does that 7-year-old need from you, right? You might hear love. They might need love, okay? They might need, I'm scared. And all you're saying is, I see you. I see you. I'm here now. I'm here, rock them. I'm here now to give you what you need. And again, the adult part doesn't have to have all the answers, okay? All the adult part needs to do is be that safe space. That's all you're doing, okay? I see you. I'm so sorry you're going through a hard time. Anger part or sadness part or childhood part that's 8 years old. I'm so sorry. I'm here now. I'm here now. You're not alone. Say this out loud. I am here now. You're not alone. You're not alone, okay? You're just comforting it. And just building a dialogue. Essentially, when you call your part in and you close your eyes, right? You call your part in, you are building a dialogue with that part, with that version of you. What do you need from me? Okay, is one. All right. If nothing comes up for what do you need from me, where do you feel it in the body? Okay, that's a big one. What do you need from me? Where do you feel this part in your body? All right, you might say, oh man, this part's in my shoulders. Oh boy, okay. That's okay, right? Thank you for showing me. Thank you for showing me where you are. Give yourself a little bit of a shoulder massage, a back massage, right? All right, so just allow yourself to, now thank you for showing me, okay? And then you just talk about the pain itself. Pain, what are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to tell me? And just trust what you feel. You might feel anger, you might feel annoyed, okay? That's okay. Whatever's coming up, the point of all of this is whatever's coming up for you, you're not shaming it anymore. You're not pushing it back down. You're saying, I see you. Thank you for being here. I'm here now, okay? So what do you need from me? Where in the body is it showing up, okay? Can you flush it out by giving it what it needs? If you do have pain, right, in the body, and you are talking to that part, okay, what do you need from me? Shoulder pain, or this is not better, but it's all connected. What are these parts fearful of? What are these parts fearful of, okay? Shoulder pain, what are you really scared of? What are you trying to protect me from? Okay, change the verbiage a little bit. What are you fearful of? What are you trying to protect me from? How can I help you? Different ways to ask different questions, okay? And what you're going to realize is that every part of you that has developed, because you weren't born with these parts developed to protect you from a time and space in your life when you were going through pain. So the avoidance, the self-sabotage, the really harsh critiquer, the perfectionist, right? You weren't born with that. You were born perfectly whole. But what happened is that you went through these experiences that made you feel lots of shame. Maybe even the shame itself is a part, the guilt, right? And they came up and they're like, hey, I'm going to be the shame. I'm going to take all the shame and feel it. That way, that true self that you are, the spirit, the source, whatever you believe in, higher self, doesn't have to feel that. So they were trying to unburden you. They became a part to unburden you. But now as the adult, you can unburden them simply by saying, I see you. How can I help you? What are you scared of, part? What are you fearful of, part? And you can even ask them, how can I unburden you? And your shoulders will say, stop taking so much on. Your shoulders are like, stop taking so much on. Stop doing so much. Slow down. This gets easier with time, okay? This takes practice. So if you're feeling overwhelmed right now, don't worry. It's completely okay. The biggest thing is to honor what's coming up for you. It can be an emotion. Ask it what it needs from you. If you're not getting an actual sentence, that's okay. It might be a color, okay? It might be heat. It might be pain, okay? Just sit with it and say, I see you. Thank you for showing up. How can I help you? And if nothing comes up, just sit with it. Send it love. You're sending it love, just like you would a baby or a child, a dog, a puppy, whatever you relate to. You're sending it love. You're not like, come on, get rid of it, get rid of it. No, that doesn't help it. That sticks it really tight. To flush it out, we need to just hold space and hold compassion. Hold space and hold compassion for it, okay? And the more that you do this for whatever emotion that is coming up for you, the easier that it is going to be for you to release it. So that's how you start your inner child healing journey, okay? Really giving them the words, the comfort that they needed, telling them, the inner child, that you're sorry that what they went through, letting that inner child tell you their part. If the inner child's coming up, if you have a specific memory, let that child tell you what it needs to say. Maybe from here, if you have a specific memory of people that hurt you, how about you now write a letter for that part of you that was hurt? Write a letter from your inner child to that person. You don't have to give it to them. You can burn it. But I want you to really express here, okay? That's what I do to my clients. Really express it out. Use the cuss words. Go in, all right? Go ham with this. Do people even use the word ham anymore? I feel like, no, I'm an older millennial, so whatever. You guys get me. But anyway, it's all for you. Doesn't matter what it sounds like, doesn't matter what it looks like, doesn't matter if you feel weird, that's all normal. Please understand that it's normal to have resistance to everything that I've told you today. This isn't normal. This isn't a normal thing that we've been taught. So the more that you practice this, the more that you take your time, the easier it will get. But if you'd like to work with me in a one-on-one space where I can individually work with you to help you work through these big parts of you, to help you understand these parts of you, then make sure to go to my website, psychicenergymama.com, to book. I do have coaching journeys, like I said, that will be one-on-one to help you build your psychic abilities, to help you live that dream life, to help you get into those relationships, to help you feel comfortable being seen, to help you step into why we are here as an awakened collective, to step into your power and purposes. But it's been such a beautiful time with you all. And I will see you next time.